Hello, everybody. Welcome to Philly Real Estate Talk. I am Mike McCann, the real estate man, Berkshire Hathaway Fox and Roach Realtors. We come to you on WBCB 1490 AM radio station, the voice of the Eagles, Merle Reese's radio station. And today we have an incredible guest for you. I am so excited. Brent Celek, world champion, Philadelphia Eagle, is here with us today. So say hello, Brent.
Hello. Thanks for having me, guys.
And a lot of people don't know, and Jim Onesti, the bestie, of course, is here today. And Jim has worked with Brent on developments, which are always kind of low-key when you were an Eagle, but we want to talk to Brent a lot about the Eagles. He's got his ring. Let me see your ring here. It's awesome. Wow. Okay. Talk to him about the Eagles. I'd like to talk to you about, your early life and also about the new developments. Because the one thing with Brent is he's been building houses, but now he's ventured into the business community, and he's staying in the Philadelphia area, which is awesome. We love that. And we'll talk to you about, why you're staying in the Philadelphia area, because obviously you could live anywhere. And then also you opened up a real estate company, a mortgage company, and a building company. So, Jim, say hello to Brent.
Brent, my man.
What's your first question for him?
My first question? Well, I've known Brent a little while now. I was lucky enough to get to know him, and we've worked together. And I might have asked you this before, but I think it's real interesting, what you love about real estate and why you love it. Because some athletes kind of get into it, but they dabble.
Yeah.
You've really dove right in. And
so I think I'll first say, when I was young in my career, I always wanted to be a business owner and an entrepreneur and start businesses and run all these different businesses, be like Elon Musk or something. And so I started off in kind of the restaurant business, and I had a partner who was the chef, and I didn't know what I was doing going into that. And it taught me so much about business. But I think the biggest thing that it taught me was I never wanted to be on the side of the table I was on, renting space from somebody. I always wanted to be on that other side.
How about that?
And so that's really what got me into real estate. I wanted to own the real estate. I'd rather rent it out to other people that are doing things that are great, and maybe I can help them become better. But I ultimately want to own the land. And so once I realized that, I started focusing all my efforts into developing real estate, learning about the business, doing deals here and there with different people, and finding what I really liked. And I think deep down, I really do love development. Development is hard. It's really capital intensive, and takes a lot of time. And then, I've also seen the selling side of it and things you can do when transacting real estate, and the type of money that you can make, and, how you can do deal after deal after deal. It just depends on how hard you work. And I think I've sort of fallen in love with that. And so I think I want to find a mixture between selling and developing a little bit. I don't want to be full development. I would rather be kind of full selling and development more on the side. And if good deals come across, you develop them. If there's not a lot of deals out there, you just continue to sell. I don't want to be developing and reaching for deals and, potentially doing bad deals because I'm just trying to continue to find work.
That's a great point.
So that's kind of how I got into that. And then I met my partners, and we've done a few development deals together. And then we ended up starting our own brokerage, mortgage, and title companies. And we own our own building out in media. We started growing those businesses. They're doing really well. And I think it's just my job to help continue to market and promote it and, sell inside of that and just add to all the buckets that we've created.
Yeah. So Remax is in media, downtown media,
Yep.
right? And it's Remax what?
Remax Select.
Select, okay.
Down in media.
And your mortgage company's Pando?
Pando Mortgage,
Okay.
and then Pando Abstract is our title
So
company.
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And we're going to come back to the business in a little bit because I just want to tell you, being 59 years old, never seen the Eagles win. I'm going back to the Eagles right now. And finally to have a championship, I mean, it was the best gift that you could send to a Philadelphian. And so I know you're so important in many people's lives, that experience. But I just got to tell you this quick story.
Mm-hmm.
It was about 2 weeks before the Super Bowl. Jimmy comes into my office. Mike, Brent has 2 tickets for the Eagles. Can you go? I'm like, what? So I opened up my book, looked at my schedule, called my wife, said, "Hun, blah." She said, "What are you, crazy? Go." So I said, "So go." So okay, so that's it. So Jimmy and I booked flights that day, right? So we're going, and we're leaving at 6 in the morning, and we're not staying over. We're going to come home 6 the next morning. So we get our tickets. I don't look at them. We get to the thing. We go there, and we get into the stadium, and we're walking down the stadium steps, and we're going down, 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 and our seats are the second row over the tunnel right there, and we were seat 1 and 2. So I'm like going in there, and I see these couple people with Celek jerseys, and I'm like, "Oh." I'm like, "How do you know Brent?" And this beautiful woman turns and says, "I'm his mother." I was like, "No!" I gave her a big hug. Your dad, and it was your high school. Was his high school or his college coach?
Yeah,
college coach right there.
I saw the picture Jim took.
Yeah. So it was unbelievable. And then behind us was Jason Kelsey's family.
No, his in-laws.
His in-laws. That's right. His fiance and them, and they were behind us. So all of us just like hung out, and we got in our seats at 3 in the afternoon on that game. We didn't leave our seats till 11 o'clock that night. I ran up once real fast to go to the bathroom. Yeah. It was late in the game.
The Brandon Graham strip.
The Brandon Graham strip. I'm running into the bathroom. But from 3, we didn't have a beer. We didn't have a food. We didn't have, from 3 to 11, we were so animated. It was a miracle.
It was unbelievable.
It was and you know how I Philadelphia's a big sports city. We love our sports, but we're always let down. To me, we had to make a movie. Rocky was like a fictional story about a Philadelphia underdog that wins. This was the Eagles win to me. That game was unbelievable. It was like our fictional story comes true by the Eagles, by how you guys played that game. So just tell me about that experience for you, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we as a team, at the beginning of the season understood that it doesn't – in this town anymore, it doesn't matter if you get to NFC Championship game. It doesn't matter if you get to the Super Bowl. All they care about is winning the Super Bowl. Really is really what it comes down to, and anything short of that is a disappointment. And I think everyone knew that. And so we had to fight to the very, very end in order to get it done. And, when we beat Minnesota and the feeling of this city behind us and everyone was so excited, we're going to the Super Bowl. I think what was crazy is we as guys on the team knew it was not over. Like, we still had another game. And so we're up in Minnesota and it's so cold. There's nothing to do. And then we're staying at that Mall of America.
Right.
And so everyone's going back and forth. Everything's happening inside. It's just so annoying that everyone just kind of stayed in their rooms. And then when it came to practice was like our release. Like, okay, we get some time to get away from all this. And I think guys, like, we really enjoyed practice. We went hard at practice, and we were so ready for the game because that's all we were focused on when we were up there. I'm sure if we were in a warm town, people have been out doing this, doing that.
Right.
But I think it was just a perfect storm for us to keep us focused and ready to play the biggest game of our lives. And, change the history of this city. And we knew what was at stake. We talked about it. It still gives me goosebumps today thinking about it.
Me too, honestly.
Because, just sitting there before the game, the confidence that we had was just different. The energy was different.
It was just a miracle, and to beat Brady, the game was just and it was right down to the minute. It was just unbelievable. The whole season was unbelievable. It was a miracle season, but it was just unbelievable.
It was
so
perfect
great.
Ending.
And were you sweating and squirming like we were in the stands and across the whole city? How were you feeling?
No, my brother said, because I never played in the Super Bowl. My brother actually played in the Super Bowl. He lost, but. When San Francisco played the Ravens. But he said, dude, your heart's going to feel like it's going to beat through your chest on that first kickoff. And I didn't really have that. I actually felt calm, and I love the stadium up there, the whole vibe of that stadium. And like I remember being on the field, and it was the only stadium where like all of the seats were dark. So like it was hard to see anybody, but the field was lit up. It was like a concert, you know. It was just it was a totally different feel. And it was just awesome. I mean, it was a great experience. When you're sitting there on the field, there's some plays you can't really see, and you try to judge it off the crowd. And when you're at home playing in the link, if the crowd goes crazy, we made a great play.
Right.
But in the Super Bowl, it was for us. It was like 75-25.
Yeah.
Until the third quarter, man. Then all of a sudden, when they started to come back. All of a sudden, we saw all these other fans popping up because we were dominant in the beginning, right? Remember that, Jim?
Yeah.
I was starting to get upset when they were coming back. I don't know if you remember that part, but it was. Remember, Jim?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
they were getting vocal.
Yeah, no. So, but initially, it's like 75% Eagles fans.
So it was just a different atmosphere, but it was a lot of fun. I mean, it was a dream come true. I worked my whole life to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. And you were 12 years on the Eagles, right?
11
years. Yeah. Unbelievable, man.
And to end my career on that just seems so fitting.
Yeah, that is awesome, man. That is awesome. So, and just a little bit about you, just briefly. So, when you were growing up, did you know you always wanted to be a football player?
Yes.
Yeah, really? Okay.
Yeah.
From
since I was little, I always said I was going to play in the NFL. I know there was a lot of people in my family thought I was stupid and didn't believe in me, but and there was people all along the way, going through high school, college. But I always believed in myself, and it really didn't mean anything to me that anyone doubted me. I doubt me too. Like who's sitting here in the 8th grade thinking they can make it to the NFL one day? But I just knew that every day I just had to work really hard, and if I did that, I would set myself up for that chance. And I also had to be lucky.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys that do everything the right way and tear their knee and they can't ever play again. So, I was definitely lucky throughout my entire career, high school, college, NFL. But I think at a young age, man, I was in grade school football, and I went to a school that didn't have a football team. So they placed me in this Catholic League school, or this Catholic League, where I went to the team with the least amount of players. And so the first year I played, I went to the team with the least amount of players, and
the worst
coincidentally, they're the worst team in the league. Next year, I went to same thing, but it was a different school. And so my parents are driving me to this school. My parents are driving me to that school. Third year, I go to another school. And, all I'm doing is losing. Hey, Brent, you want to just go to the worst team in the league? Here you go.
You can play.
Yeah, you can play. You can probably play both ways, too, because they don't have enough guys. But what it taught me at a young age was I cared about being on a team and being a teammate, a great teammate to the other guys, because I was a free agent at such a young age that
85s, the 70 pounds, the 85.
No, that's what it was. Yeah.
Okay,
it was just. But my school never had a team, so I had to go into the bigger Catholic League school.
Yeah. Where'd you grow up?
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And then what college did you? How'd you get into the? So you played on the high school team. Just tell us a little more about that.
Yeah, played on the high school team. Started as a sophomore, which was kind of rare.
What position were you playing?
Tight end.
Okay.
Yeah. So my freshman year of high school was the first time I ever played tight end. Played that sophomore year. I got to play on varsity, which was kind of rare. So I was like, all right, no, I got a little bit of a chance. Junior year, played okay, but then I started getting offers from small MAC schools, and then Cincinnati offered me. And I had made a deal with my dad. I don't even know if I ever told anybody this. I made a deal with my dad that if I went to Notre Dame, Michigan, Ohio State, or Cincinnati, I would get a $30,000 car if I got a full ride to those places. And I snuck Cincinnati in there because I was like, Dad, Cincinnati's local.
It's our home.
It's our home. You gotta put that in there.
Yeah.
And so when Cincinnati offered me my junior year, I accepted it. And I really wasn't getting recruited by some of the bigger ones.
Hold off on this
Yeah.
because we're going to take a break right now.
All
We're
right,
going to come back in a few seconds. We're going to hear more about Brent's career because it's fascinating to me to where you came from and how you got there. Thanks a lot. This is Mike McCann, the real estate man at Philly Radio, Philly Real Estate Talk. Thank you. I love Philly because of the historic character. But what's amazing about Philly is it's such a city of neighborhoods. So when you move into a community, it's not just living in this big city. You get to know your neighbors. You bump into people in the street. The energy is awesome. I'm Mike McCann, the real estate man.
I've been working with Mike McCann for 18 years. Mike is the Michael Jordan of the real estate industry, the best of all time.
This is not a job, this is my life. I love the city, I love my clients, and I love my team because it's my family.
And you want to know why, what makes him the real estate man. And it's not just his tenacity and his drive, but he also passes that on to the team.
And when you're working on a great team, a lot comes from the leadership, the work ethic, character, and Mike's been able to really pass on a lot of his great qualities throughout our team.
It is infectious.
My team is the most important thing. Together, we are so much better than if we were individually. And I love my assistants, and I love my agents, and I am committed to them.
His drive becomes your drive. He just doesn't stop.
Mike is the best in the industry. He's been around for a long time. Knowing Mike, the best for today might not be enough for tomorrow. There's always room to grow.
We work diligently every day to make sure that your home buying or selling process is as seamless as it can possibly be.
We all support each other. We all work like crazy, and we all have respect for each other. And that's the most important thing, the chemistry.
The one thing that really keeps the Mike McCann team as a cohesive unit is not just Mike himself, but our commitment to each and every one of our clients.
It's a joy and a pleasure to work with the best. And that not only means our staff, our support staff, our teammates, but also our clients. They all feel the same way, like, hey, you should use the McCann team. That sentiment is what success is to us.
And we do so much more than just sell. We help them in many, many ways.
To not just be a realtor, but to be their strategic partner, someone they can count on.
Most of the clients does not know what's behind the scene. There are so many steps in order for us to make something happen.
Being the best is progress. It's always doing better than the day before.
So when you're working with the best team, sellers can be assured that they're going to get the highest price possible in the best amount of time. Buyers are going to get the perfect home for them.
That's really where the quality is in the results.
We are #1 in the Philadelphia area. We're #1 in the entire Berkshire Hathaway network.
We enjoy the challenge of living up to that expectation.
And that shows in our record. We're driven, we're dedicated, and working diligently day in and day out to make sure that every transaction is as smooth as possible.
I'm Mike McCann, the real estate man. I've helped thousands of buyers and sellers, but I never did it alone. My team was with me the whole way. Welcome back to Philly Real Estate Talk. I am Mike McCann, the real estate man, Berkshire Hathaway, Fox & Roach Realtors. We come to you from Merle Reese's radio station, WBCB 1490 AM. You can reach me at 215-440-8345. We are here with world champ Philadelphia Eagle Brent Celek, who's also living in our community. He's decided to set his roots down here with his family. He's also an entrepreneur, and he's going to tell us about his businesses. And, of course, I have Jim Onesti, the bestie. Sorry, Jim. And
Is that your slogan?
No, it's not, but that's
It
what
is now.
I have a nickname. Yeah. So
Mine's Sell It with Celek.
oh no.
Sell it with Celek.
Okay, good. So ask Brent the next question, Jimmy.
Yeah, well, I mean, we know you had a lot of businesses. You're still involved in a lot of businesses, but obviously real estate is your favorite, right? We know why. I mean, we love it just as much as you do. But if you want to talk a little bit about the structure of it, and is there part of the brokerage business you like or don't like compared to development? And
So Brent opened up a Remax. He's going to be selling real estate. He has a mortgage company, a title company. So, tell us about those.
Yeah, so I think what I really love about the brokerage, mortgage, and title is the people that work inside there are all commission-based. And what's awesome about that is, like, you can have sales meetings and inspire people to sell and inspire them to be better. But if there's people that aren't holding up their end of the bargain or aren't doing very well, you don't have to have those awkward conversations with them like, hey, you're going to have to go. They just kind of disappear because they're not making any money. And so it lends to an environment where it's a lot of, and I call them like lions, people that are hungry to be good, and you only eat what you kill. And I think that's what I love about it the most.
That's a great point.
It's just a great environment.
It's a great, because I always say when I was a kid, Mom, I wish I had a job where the harder you worked, the more you could make.
Yeah.
And that's what real estate allows. And if you don't work hard and you don't do things, you don't have to be fired.
It's one idea that I wish the NFL would take up a little bit with regards to playoffs and Super Bowl, because guys take a 95, 98% pay cut playing in the playoffs, playing in the Super Bowl. Like, they take huge pay cuts to play in the playoffs.
I had no idea.
And I think it should be the opposite. I think it should be the other way around. I think that these guys should be incentivized to do well in the playoffs as a team and, win Super Bowls. I just don't think the structure is right. But that's something that I would like to help fix in the future.
How about that? I had no idea.
Yeah, I've told people how I feel about it, and I think it can be fixed, but it's just got to change from, an NFL's perspective. But that's what I love about real estate. You work hard, you do deals, you get paid. Right. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're sampling a lot of different avenues in the real estate business.
Yeah.
Brokerage. You have Pando Title, Pando Mortgage. You've built many homes around town. You're in the development aspect of it, and now you're building your own home, which is a totally different ballgame.
Yeah.
Because it's yours. You're going to live there. How long has that taken? Is that
That's taken longer than pretty much anything I've done so far.
Yeah.
But it's good because it's my home. It's, me and my wife have picked everything out, and we're really not in a rush. We're living in a little 2-bedroom apartment in South Philly, basically. And
what's your address?
Get out of here, Mike. But we bought the land 4 years ago. Or three years ago, somewhere around there. It was so long ago, I can't remember. And when we bought the land, it's just all farmland, and so we've been able to pretty much do whatever we want. And so I sketched out exactly what I wanted on the farmland, and I gave it to an architect. Said, "Hey, here's how I see this. I want this many bedrooms, open concept. I want guest quarters here for people when they come in town." And he kind of came back with our dream home pretty quick. And
wow.
Since then, we had to go through the permitting stages and, go through finding the right builder for it. And I've taken my time through all those steps. This is supposed to be my final home, and I have tried not to rush it, because anytime I've rushed projects in the past, there's things that get screwed up. And when you're talking about your home, you screw that up, you're going to look at it every day and be like, damn, why'd I do that? And so as they're building, there's been things that's changed, and I try to go there as much as I possibly can to talk about the different things and come up with solutions. And I love listening to guys who are kind of experts in the area and get their input, and then I make decisions off that. I take the best advice that I can get and then try to make the best decision that I know based on the advice that I'm given. And I've been working with McCann Builders on my project, and man, they've been unbelievable. There's times where I say no, like I don't want that, and the builder will come back to me and he'll say, Brent, this is what I think, and I listen to him, and then I say, you know what, you're right. I do need dormers on this house.
He's not just a yes man.
He's not a yes man. They push back on me, but I'm also a listener as well. And my wife's a listener, and I think that in all great partnerships, it takes that. And, I'm just lucky to have a partner like the McCumseys that, listen to me and understand my vision as well.
Wow.
So it's been a great project. I think I'll be done hopefully in the spring. But I'm going to have a football field in my backyard.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, I'm going to be tackling Jim Onesti over here, laying him flat out. But no, it's going to be – we're going to have a little, like, small alpaca farm.
Nice.
And so that's how we set it up. And it's going to look like a kind of a modern farmhouse.
So I met your wife a year or two ago, and you had one child, and she was pregnant with another. You have two children now, right?
Oh, man, that's tough.
Yeah.
2 kids is tough.
How old are they?
2.5 and 9 months.
2.5, 9. How many more is in the Celek future? I think you need at least 4.
No, heck no. 3 is it.
3 is
3
it.
and then I'm seeing a doctor.
Yeah, that's what my wife did after 3 ups. So.
Now you're one of 4, right? 4 brothers?
I'm one of 5. I'm the oldest of 5.
5.
Wow.
Yeah, 2 brothers and 2 sisters.
And 2 made it to the NFL.
Unbelievable.
How crazy.
Yeah.
Did you guys kill each other when you were younger?
Actually, my brother underneath me used to pick on my youngest brother. So it goes boy, girl, boy.
Wow.
And so I had to stick up for my little brother a little bit. But I don't think we fought too much, to be honest.
5. That's the big leagues, man. Did you look at your parents differently after you had the second kid?
I still look at my parents differently. Like, why did you do that?
It's so funny. And they were so young looking to me. Yeah, It's so funny.
I think this day and age, though, it's so tough because kids have access to everything. And it's hard to stay on top of them. Like, having 5 kids, my parents couldn't be on top of us. I could kind of do whatever I wanted when they were occupied by my other brothers and sisters.
Right,
so,
right.
I think 3 is a good number.
Just tell us about your parents briefly. So, what were your in your household as a young kid? What were your parents do?
My dad is an engineer.
Okay.
But when he met my mom wanted to start hair salons, and so I think once he realized what she was doing with the hair salon, she started one business, and then she wanted to start growing it. So my dad stopped being an engineer and started being a stay-at-home dad. So I had a stay-at-home dad my whole life.
An engineer, stay-at-home dad, so your mom could grow a hair business.
Yeah, and then he would
Awesome.
he would fix things around. Like, I don't want to make it sound like he did nothing.
Sure.
It was close to nothing, but it wasn't nothing. He would make us breakfast in the morning. I'll give him credit for that. And he would fix things at the salons. But my mom basically did all that. And then she would come home and cook dinner for us. My dad never cooked dinner. I can say that. I can crush him a little bit. But no, I think what was awesome growing up in my house is at the dinner table, we always used to eat dinner together. And, my mom would talk about issues that she had at work.
Right.
And her style of business is no different than really the real estate business. She's got people that kind of work for her. And then, as they do haircuts, they got to pay the business for allowing
the
space and all the products that they're using. And so I got to see how she handled the situations. And there were situations she screwed up and she realized I screwed up. I can't handle that situation like that anymore. But I was always watching, always listening, and paying attention to what she was doing and why she was doing it. And I think she was a great leader.
Wow.
I think she is a great leader. And, I've been able to learn a lot from her. And I'm just going to take a lot of that knowledge where I go in the future in selling real estate and help him build a great real estate team because, I've got a lot of knowledge from my parents playing in the NFL for so long, playing on all these different college teams with great college coaches, with leaders that, I've been able to learn a lot of good stuff from.
So you've had a lot of great relationships in your life.
Yeah.
And that's so
You spent your life around leaders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your mom being an entrepreneur, right? At home talking about dinner at dinner about the business because our business is not
Doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop at 5:00. When we come back, because Brent is going to be selling real estate too, so he's going to give you some contact. If you want Brent as a real estate agent, you will be able to get him. But only real leads may call. Anyway, we'll be back in a few minutes. We're going to take a break. I am Mike McCann, the real estate man. Berkshire Hathaway, Fox & Roach Realtors, 215-440-8345, radio.mccannteam.com. Thank you.
I love Philly because of the historic character. But what's amazing about Philly is it's such a city of neighborhoods. So when you move into a community, it's not just living in this big city. You get to know your neighbors, you bump into people in the street. The energy is awesome. I'm Mike McCann, the real estate man.
I've been working with Mike McCann for 18 years. Mike is the Michael Jordan of the real estate industry, the best of all time.
This is not a job, this is my life. I love the city, I love my clients, and I love my team because it's my family.
And you want to know why, what makes him the real estate man. And it's not just his tenacity and his drive, but he also passes that on to the team.
And when you're working on a great team, a lot comes from the leadership, the work ethic, character, and Mike's been able to really pass on a lot of his great qualities throughout our team.
It is infectious.
My team is the most important thing. Together, we are so much better than if we were individually. And I love my assistants, and I love my agents, and I am committed to them.
His drive becomes your drive. He just doesn't stop.
Mike is the best in the industry. He's been around for a long time. Knowing Mike, the best for today might not be enough for tomorrow. There's always room to grow.
We work diligently every day to make sure that your home buying or selling process is as seamless as it can possibly be.
We all support each other. We all work like crazy, and we all have respect for each other. And that's the most important thing, the chemistry.
The one thing that really keeps the Mike McCann team as a cohesive unit is not just Mike himself, but our commitment to each and every one of our clients.
It's a joy and a pleasure to work with the best. And that not only means our staff, our support staff, our teammates, but also our clients. They all feel the same way, like, hey, you should use the McCann team. That sentiment is what success is to us.
And we do so much more than just sell. We help them in many, many ways.
To not just be a realtor, but to be their strategic partner, someone they can count on.
Most of the clients does not know what's behind the scene. There are so many steps in order for us to make something happen.
Being the best is progress. It's always doing better than the day before.
So when you're working with the best team, sellers can be assured that they're going to get the highest price possible in the best amount of time. Buyers are going to get the perfect home for them.
That's really where the quality is in the results.
We are #1 in the Philadelphia area. We're #1 in the entire Berkshire Hathaway network.
We enjoy the challenge of living up to that expectation.
And that shows in our record. We're driven, we're dedicated, and working diligently day in and day out to make sure that every transaction is as smooth as possible.
I'm Mike McCann, the real estate man. I've helped thousands of buyers and sellers, but I never did it alone. My team was with me the whole way.
Hello, everybody. I am Mike McCann, the real estate man. Berkshire Hathaway,
I love
Fox and
Philly
Roach
because of-
Realtors. This is Philly Real Estate Talk. And we are blessed to have Brent Celek, world champion Philly Eagle, with us. And Jim Onesti, the bestie. So we're going to come back and talk to Brent. Brent, I just want to know, you opened up a real estate company. You've already came from a family that had entrepreneurs with your mom. You sold that. You always wanted to get in the business. World champion Eagle. You started business 4 or 5 years in your career, and now you just opened up you did development, real estate development, and now you just opened up a Remax in media, a mortgage company, a title company. You're going to get out on the street and sell like we do, which is awesome. You have a great support team. What else do you see in the next 5 years?
Well, I think we just plan on, our media office that we have, continuing to grow that. I think we have 16 agents now with myself that are selling out of there and doing really well. We've got some pretty big agents inside, and, we plan on using them to help grow the mortgage, help grow the title. And slowly those businesses are just becoming bigger and bigger inside that building. Probably get to like 30 agents and cut it off at that building. And then, I think long term, I don't want to speak out of term, but we'll probably try to have a office somewhere in the city, whether that be, Center City, Navy Yard, somewhere. And then do something maybe out in Westchester. Have 3 offices kind of in a line there, and slowly just try to take over the real estate market. And our goal is to go into areas and get some of the big agents to come on board with us. And, our model is that you can make more money under us with the RE/MAX than you would under any other model. And if we can get some of the big agents over, we don't need to make any money off of them from the brokerage side. We will just have them help feed our mortgage and title businesses, which is, they're great businesses as well. So, hopefully 5-10 years we build it up, have a few locations, and
So 3 offices and 90, 100 people. And
partner with guys like you guys.
And the one thing is there is plenty of room for everybody. Like you're a client of ours. You're opening up your own brokerage. You're going to do your own business. We welcome that. There's plenty of room. The biggest thing in our industry, in residential real estate, is having professional people, people that are in it for the long term, because 70% of the people leave within the first 6 months or a year. The one thing I do find, it's how I found a gem like Jimmy, is growing them from the beginning. Hiring somebody that's hungry, who has great integrity, great work ethic, great standards, and willing to learn, and just growing them. Jim came with me when he was 22. He's been with me 19 years. And so growing is even better than maybe bringing big people in is good too.
Yeah.
But growing, that's what I like. That's it's one of my joys now, being in the business so long, is helping people grow and watching them grow and their families grow. That's so important.
Which is cool. I think I'll grow my team as much as I can. And if that involves taking over other locations, that's what we'll do as well. But
And your office isn't just any regular office. It's a
I
cool
wouldn't think
space,
so,
man.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I went to a Super Bowl party there. I'll tell them, man. It's just
so
really
basically,
unique.
if to make it easy for people to see in their own mind, it would be like we work for real estate.
Okay.
So you know how WeWork kind of works, where you got the offices on the exterior, and then on the interior it's kind of gutted, and then you got conference room, a lot of couches, spaces where people can kind of
communal areas
interact. You got a little kitchen area, and so we rent out all those exterior offices. We obviously have our brokerage there. We got our mortgage and title, but then we rent out to real estate lawyers, insurance company. We rent it out to a home automation company. And, so it's kind of like that one-stop shop for real estate, but it allows some of these people that, have a small insurance company that want to be around other real estate professionals to be kind of in the same office. And we've got, big screen TVs that take up the whole wall. So we can throw pretty nice parties there as well. So if we have like a fight party or Super Bowl party, it's a great entertainment space.
Nice.
So when other brokers come in from other companies for a settlement, do they freak out when they look around?
Yeah, they're like, hey, how do we come in here? We're like, yeah, we got that office right there. You can come work for us.
Yeah.
And I think it has really helped, though.
Yeah.
All the agents that we've got, they just love the vibe of the office.
And media's
and
hot now, right? Media is really growing.
Yeah.
It's really, really hot. It had not been much 20 years ago. Now it's really hot and growing a lot, right?
Yeah, it's doing really well.
Yeah.
And we got a great deal on the building. My partners did a great job of executing our vision. And I'm excited to just see it grow over the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. Well, how do people reach out to you, Brent?
Brent Celek at remax.net.
Okay.
Email me.
Okay.
Let's
awesome.
go. Sell it with Celek, baby.
I love it. That's great. Tagline helps, man. Coming from Mike McCann, the real estate man.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you think about the Eagles this year, man? How are we going to do?
I think they're good.
Yeah.
I think the offensive line, defensive line, really strong. Obviously, great quarterbacks. I think when you have those three components, you set yourself up for success in every single game. Obviously, they've got great defensive backs, linebackers, all that.
It was a nail-biter Sunday, man.
It was a nail-biter, for sure.
Good. I'm sorry.
But, no, I think they're going to be a good football team.
Yeah,
as long as they, don't have some major injuries here and there on the O&D line, I think they're going to be sitting pretty good when it comes playoff time.
Yeah, and guess what, man? You need to work that roster. I mean, you could sell a lot of those. We sell some of the sports athletes places. You need to work that as a real estate sales guy.
I know
the Eagles, and then move on to the Flyers and the Sixers.
Right.
I mean,
Yep.
being a world champion, you have the right to do that. I mean, what's Mike McCann and Jim Onesti to those guys? But Brent Celek, you got to work that, man.
I know. That's what I'll get into that as well, and I think that's an avenue that I can go after. And those guys have a lot of respect for me. So I'm just going to have to prove myself in this industry and show that I work hard just like everybody else, and nothing's going to be handed to me in real estate. I can't just say, hey, I'm going to start selling it and expect
Right. I'm Brent Celek, world champ. Yeah.
I know.
Nothing.
I understand that's not going to happen, and but I'm willing to work.
Yeah.
I'm not a guy that can just sit at home and do nothing.
Yeah, that's great.
I need to work.
Yeah. So we're so glad that you're growing your life here, and your business here, and we're going to be part of that. And what else you want to say? Because we only have a few minutes left, Jimmy.
Any passion to coach?
I'm not sure yet. That's a good question. I think I want to take some time and detox from football. I've just been playing since I was in the second grade.
Wow.
And I love the sport and will always love the sport. I just think I need some time away from it for a little bit. So I just don't feel like that's all I need in life. Because I feel like when you just do something for that long, like if I were to just go into it and then I coach until I'm 55, 60 years old, like when you're done, like you start dying. So I need to take some time off, understand what life is like without football, sell some real estate, and then 5-10 years from now, see if that's something I want to get back.
And you know what you might do too, which is pretty cool, is like a high school coach. You know what I mean? Like volunteering and stuff like that. I know a guy from Strathaven, Dan Connor, and he did some did some coaching and stuff.
And you're only 33.
Yeah.
So
that's what's so cool about it. I'm retired at 33, and I can start a whole new career.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have that opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people would say, well, it would be great to be retired, but just sitting at home and doing nothing is not fun.
Right.
And you planted that seed early. Can I see your ring for 1 second?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you take it off? Can I see it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, man. Look at this ring, okay? World champion. You have to arm wrestle me to get it back.
I don't want to break your arm, Mike. Come on. Well, Mike looks so
Ready,
much
strong. You check that out, Jim?
Yeah.
That is awesome, Brent. You were awesome, man.
Hey, thank you guys for
My
having
man.
me, man.
Thanks, brother.
I know this is just the
You're awesome.
beginning because we're going to do a lot of deals together.
Absolutely, man.
And I'm excited to do deals with you guys. I know you guys do more deals in the city than anybody. You guys are the best.
And we are always there to help, coach, motivate, like any of your team. We have no problem helping out because we look at it as not our company, your company. We look at it as 1 and 1 is 3. And we want everybody to be successful because there's enough room for everybody to be successful.
Oh, of course.
So, anyway, I really thank everybody for listening to Brent Celek, world champion, EAGLES. I know you're probably tired of hearing all that. You know how many times I watched that Super Bowl game?
I know, me too. 10 times.
About 10 or 11 times.
Yeah.
Have you watched it yet or
I
no?
haven't.
No, I know.
I watched it after the game. Like I was so into watching the film. But
then they have the mic'd up version, and they condense it.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for coming. Philly Real Estate Talk. You can get Brent Celek at Remax. What's it? Remax what?
Brent Celek at Remax.net.
Yeah, you got it. Okay. Have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.